In this video, we're going to go over questions 32 through 45 to complete the review for test 3. Again, I will demonstrate this exercise by using the graphing calculator. So in this exercise, it's asking you to find the indicated area. It is asking to find the area to the left of z equals 2.66. Again, you will need to use this handout. I highly recommend it, especially if you want to get it right using the calculator. So it indicates in here, area to the left, you use this side of the handout, scroll down to see the steps. Notice that it says second vars, and then this part is the most important part that you need to pay attention to. So in the given exercise, we are asked to find the area to the left of 2.66. So we're going to get the calculator, and let me refer back to the handout, and it's going to be second vars, option 2, and we'll enter, as it says in here, negative 100. The negative is the one that is in parentheses, because the other one that is not in parentheses, it is used for subtraction because it is a subtraction sign. So 2.66, and then you close, and that will be the area to the left of the z-score of 2.66. So this is 0.9961. So 0.9961 will be what we will do. We'll enter in the input box, 0.9961. So the next question is asking you to find the area to the right. So if it is the area to the right, you cannot use the same input. It has to be this one that says area to the right. So you scroll down, and it will be the input. Notice that is different. In this one, we enter the z-score, comma, positive 100 in order to use the calculator. So we're going to clear this, and we'll go to second vars, option 2, enter, and now you enter, this one was 2.34. So 2.34, you enter the z-score first, 2.34, comma, 100, close, and enter. So this is going to be 0.0096. That is the area to the right of a z-score of 2.34, 0.0096, and 0.0096, and they're still asking for 4 decimal places. Next is asking for, let's see, it's loading. It's asking for the area between. So the area between, you have to scroll down to see the instructions for area between two values, and it will still be the same, second vars. You will enter from the lowest to the highest, from left to right for your z-scores. So we'll refer back to the question and get the calculator clear. So it's going to be second vars, option 2, and you'll enter 0, 2.67. And the area in between is 0.4962. Again, the calculator performs the subtraction for you. If you're doing it by hand, you have to subtract the probabilities, but this one is already subtracted for you. And we press enter. Next, here, notice that is asking you with notation instead of writing the word probability. And here it says, find the probability of the z-score being less than negative 1.22. So less than implies that is the area to the left. So when in doubt, you can go here and you will be able to see when is it that you use that. So here it will tell you, oh, okay, you will use it for, let me go back to the less than. Okay, so here it tells you when you will use that probability. So the common expression that is emphasized here is x is less, the probability when x is less than, but it also applies of when z-score is less than. So this is the one that you use for less than, and you scroll down to see the steps. So this one is the one that is -100, comma, followed by the z-score. Because the z-score is given to us in this question, we do not have to find it. So here we'll clear, and it's going to be second vars, option 2, enter. So this is the one that we start with the -100, followed by a comma, and then the -1.22, that is equivalent to the z-score given in the exercise. So you close the parentheses, and my probability is 0.1112. Rounded to 4 decimal places, 0.1112. And we'll check the answer. Number 36. Find the indicated probability. So this one, it says greater than. So when we look at the handout and you scroll up, if it's greater than, notice that this is the type of the handout that you use, the section of the handout that you use, greater than. So you scroll down, and this one you enter the z-score first, comma, 100. So you go to your graphing calculator, second vars, option 2, enter, and this one is the one that you enter the z-score first. So we go look at the z-score is -1.95. So we'll enter -1.95, comma, 100. So this is 0.9744. 0.9744. And you check the answer. Okay, so this one is implied to be the area between, when you see the two values and the two inequalities. But when in doubt, you go ahead and you look at the handout, and it tells you in here, oh, when it looks like this, x is greater than and x is less than, and even the picture is between. So you're going to follow the input second vars, option 2, and it's the z-score from left to right that you will enter. So let me go get to the question, and we'll clear. And this is going to be second vars, continues to be option 2 because the z-score is given. So I'm going to enter -0.67, comma, 0 is the other z-score. So the calculator will take care of the subtraction for you. So this is 0.2486 because the 5 is followed by a 7. Next, use a standard normal table to find the z-score that corresponds to the accumulated area 0.1038. If the area is not in the table, use the entry closest to the area. If the area is halfway between two entries, use the z-scores halfway between the corresponding z-scores. Okay, so I already worked this. I'll show you with both because I'm looking at the section and I haven't done the virtual classroom for section 5.3. So I'll show you with the calculator, and then we'll do it with the table of values. So what makes this different? Okay, again, this is from section 5.3. So that's not just that is the only difference, is also that they are asking you to find the z-score and they're giving you the area under the curve. So a few pointers here. It says cumulative area is the same thing as the area that is accumulated from left to right. So if it is the area accumulated from left to right, it's really the area to the left. The steps that we're going to follow, I'm not sure. Let me make sure. I don't know if they, let me make sure. Okay, so if you are looking for, I might have to send those because I don't see the steps for those here. So it is the opposite of what we did. So the calculator can help you with this, but we'll have to choose, make another selection from the menu second vars. So the one that we use for normal CDF. So inv, it will be inverse. It will be the opposite operation, and that's why you will use that one. And this one is you choose number 3. When you are when they're asking you to find the z-score, you always choose option 3. So this is going to be inverse of what? So you're looking for, basically the calculator is asking for the area accumulated from the left. So in this case, it's 0.1038. And the output is going to be the z-score. So the z-scores are, they're asking for 3 decimal places as needed. But the calculator, usually, if you use the table, you're usually able to get 2 decimal places. Here, we're able to get 3, which is negative 1.260 in this case. So negative 1.26 will be my area under the curve. So, but if I was to use the tables, because if you don't have the calculator, to use a table, I'm going to close this before I move to the next question. So the tables, they're giving you the tables, and first you have to decide, how do I know what table to use? So if it is the area to the left, you will then use the negative table. So you're looking inside the body, you're looking for which one is the one inside the body that is equivalent to this area that is given to you is 0.1038. So 0.1038, look at it, that is here. So that tells me that is negative 1.2. And then we have to look up to see, okay, this one decreases. So this is 0.09, 0.08, 0.07, 0.06. So 0.1038 is 0.1038 is right here, negative 1.2. So this was 9876. So that's why we were saying that the z-score is negative 1.2 and then over to 0.06. That's how you get negative 1.26. So it is a lot easier with a calculator, but it is humanly possible. So in essence, when they're asking you to find the z-score, they're giving you the inside of the table, and you have to look at the rows and the columns in order to come up with the z-score, in this case of negative 1.26. So let's get to the next question. It does require practice. So again, here they're asking you for the z-score, and they're saying the accumulated area. Again, every time it's asking you for the accumulated area, is the area accumulated from left to right. So in terms of the tables, I will be using the negative table, and I'm going to see if I can find 0.0764. So 0.0764, 0.0764. So it's right here. So that means that my z-score is negative 1.4, and then this is 9876543. So this should be negative 1.43 because that's the one that matches the area inside the table. So negative 1.43, negative 1.43, 9876543. So negative 1.43. And then I'm going to show you again with the calculator, 1.43. And check the answer. So with the calculator, I will choose the inverse because I'm looking for the z-score. It's not given to me. So the other process for second vars option 2, it is finding probabilities. When you're looking for the z-score, is the inverse of what we did before. So it is option 3. So here I will enter the area of 0.0764 and you close the parentheses. So the input is easier than the other one. And notice in here, negative 1.43, they said rounded to 3 decimals, but notice that I entered 2 decimal places and it was accepted. So the Pearson is programmed to accept that as your final answer. Next, question number 40. Use a table of cumulative area under the normal curve to find the z-score that corresponds to the given area. If the area is not in the table, then we do an approximation. So it says, use the z-score halfway between the two. So if convenient, you see, they recommend using Dora de Calculadora. So the accumulated area is 0.045. So in the calculator, it is, we're being asked to find the z-score. So therefore, it is second vars, and then option 3 when you're looking for the z-score. And the area here is 0.045. Close the parentheses, enter. So the z-score is negative 1. They want round to 3 decimal places, negative 1.695. Since they want 3 decimal places, negative 1.6. I believe it was 95. Okay, to make sure we enter the right numbers. 95 and the rounding. So that is with 3 decimal places. So next question. And again, the z-scores are usually 2 decimal places. That's what you get from the table. So use the standard normal curve to find the z-score that corresponds to the given percentile. So here, when it says percentile is also accumulated area all the way to 25%, so 0.25. So here we'll go to the table, and again, they're looking for the z-score, so it's second vars, option 3. And we're going to enter 0.25 and close the parentheses. That is the accumulated area. So your z-score is negative how many? They want 2 decimal places on this one. So negative let me make sure, 0.67, because a 7 is followed by a 4. So the z-score, negative 0.67. So probabilities cannot be negative, but z-scores can be negative. So question 42. Okay, so this one, they're telling you that the area to the left is 0.3228. Find the z-score. So all we have to do is go to the calculator, inverse, vars, option 2, and then you enter the area in parentheses, 0.3228. And that gives you the z-score of negative how many? They want 2 decimals, so negative 0.46, because a 5 is followed by a 9, so negative 0.46. So we'll check the answer. Next, this one is the area 0.0174. So again, Dora de Calculadora. It will be second vars, option 3, and this is 0.0174 is the area, and the output will be your z-score. They want 2 decimal places, so negative 2.11. Negative 2.11 will be your z-score. What happened? Let's see, this was area to the right, 0.01. Let me check my Dora. Okay. Oh, in here, I think everything else that we have been doing have been area to the left. So let me do this. So this one is 1 minus 0.0174. 1 minus 0.0174. So now when I do second vars, okay, something that I have to emphasize is that even though we obtain a negative z-score, the calculator is programmed to give you the z-scores based on being an area to the left. So here it is a z-score. Notice that it's to the right of 0. So this z-score, it has to be a positive z-score. So if you're wanting to get a positive z-score, what I did in order to come up with a positive z-score, it will be 1 minus the given area to the right. So if you enter 0.9826, which is 1 minus 0.0174, then you get the positive z-score. Or you could proceed with what I just did before and then look at the picture and notice that since this z-score is to the right, I need to input a positive z-score. So we have to be careful on those. So here, this is the area between. So notice that the areas are the same, okay, 0.4678, 0.4678. So if I want to find the area, I will say if I enter 0.4678, this is going to be the area from 0 to the left. So it's going to give me a negative z-score. And in here, they says use a comma to separate answers as needed. So once I get the negative z-score, it's going to be negative z-score, comma, positive z-score. If I wanted to, so let me show you that one. So that's these ones are tricky with this one. So, but it's still great to use a calculator. Second vars, option 3. So if I enter, we're going to enter 0.4678. And again, this is the area from 0 to the z-score. And it will give me this number. That will be a negative z-score. So they want the z-score to have 2 decimal places. So this 0.08 represents this z-score. So if I wanted to get the positive z-score, since these 2 areas are the same distance from 0, all I have to do is put one negative, comma, 1 positive. It says use a comma to separate the answers. I think as long as you enter them, they will accept them in any order, but I prefer to follow negative to positive. So it's going to be a negative 0.08, negative 0.08, comma, positive 0.08. So 1 negative, 1 positive. And let me check. Let me see what happened. They may not like the other one. Let me check my calculator. Okay, so in the meantime, while I was looking at the options in the calculator, the question has changed. So, but it's the same as between. So this one, we need is a between, and we're looking for the z-score. My mistake before was that I didn't subtract it from 0.5. This is half. So the area under the curve adds up to 1, which was one of the theory questions that we have. So the distance from 0 to the end is 0.5, or the probability also from 0 to the other side is 0.5 each side. So my calculation should be I take 0.5 and then I subtract the 0.4793. so that I can focus on the area to the left. So when I do my second vars, option 3, in order to find the z-score that I want here, is the z-score of this area to the left. So in this case is the 0.0207. So we didn't have to do that before, but we have to do it with a between. 0.0207, and you press enter. So this is going to give me the z-score that is negative. And since the area in these tails right here are the same, this one is the positive z-score and this one is the negative z-score. So they want 2 decimal places, so it's negative 2.04. So negative 2.04. comma, positive 2.04. And use a comma to separate. They don't want anything else, just to make sure. And that is our final answer. So the last question, number 45. So this is an application. The pregnancy length in days for a population of new mothers can be approximated by a normal distribution. The mean is 269 and the standard deviation is 12. What is the minimum pregnancy length that can be in the top 12% of pregnancy lengths? What is the maximum pregnancy length that can be in the bottom 4% of the pregnancy lengths? So there's several things in here. So the pregnancy, so they're giving you the mean, that's mu, and this is a standard deviation. So in order for you to find the number of days, which will be equivalent to the number of probabilities, you need to convert the data into z-scores in order to find the number of days. Okay, so in this exercise, you will be using the formula that you should have in your formula sheet. That is to find x values. So that is going to be x equals the mean plus the z-score times the standard deviation. So I will provide you with a formula sheet. I'll send that to you. So this one is going to be, they tell you what they are asking what is the minimum pregnancy length that can be in the top 12%. So if it is in the top 12%, we have to work with the information that is to the left, because the top 12%, that means that if you take 100% and you subtract the 12%, that will mean that 88% is below that, which is the area to the left. So they're giving you that information in order to find the z-score that you need in order to do the calculation to find the x value. So this is going to be second vars, and you're looking for the z-score of 0.88, which is 88% is 0.88. That is the area represented to the bottom part of the 12%. So this is going to be 0.88. That's the accumulated area. And then 1.17 is your z-score. So now that we have the z-score, we are to multiply 1.17 multiplied by the standard deviation that is given to you. In this case, it says 12 days is a standard deviation, multiplied by 12, and then you add the mean, that is 269 days. So that will tell you that a minimum pregnancy length is 283 days, 0.04. 283.04. Oh, they won 1 decimal point. Oh, they won 1 decimal point. So if they won 1 decimal point, then it's 283. We don't even have to put the 0.0, just 283 days, because it was 0.04. Yes, so they only won 1 decimal point. Okay. Follow the number that is below the input box. Okay, the maximum pregnancy length is how many days? So here they're already telling you bottom 4%. So that is already, the area is 0.04. So the z-score, again, they're giving you that information in order to find the area. So so the area to the left, because it's the bottom 4%, is 0.04. So you're going to go second vars, option 3, and you're going to enter 0.04 to find the z-score. So it's a negative z-score that you will then multiply by the standard deviation of 12 days, and then you will be adding the mean, that is 269 days. And that will provide you with the maximum pregnancy length is, in this case, they want 1 decimal point again. It says 247.9 followed by another 9. So this will be 248 days. Okay, so that's it for the review. I know this last question might be confusing, but I recommend that you go over the PowerPoint for section 5.3 that you can find in the weekly lessons to help you understand these concepts a lot better.